voices will go on tonight, so please excuse me. I'm Dr. Ali Muhammad, and I'm a part of the African Republic of America. We come here every Monday night to talk about government civics, but this particular discussion is the most important discussion that we can have, because we can't be sitting in our body and helping our minds. So I have a lot to say. I'm going to pass the mic to my brothers who peace to all.
Peace, peace, peace. My name is Mr. Inky, one of the co-founders of the Aboriginal Medical Association, founder of the Amber Institute. Just try to help people get healthy, and that's it. Good luck.
Peace, I'm a abundance child, head mother in charge at I'm the head mother in charge at Lord Mother Earth and the Girls Society, and chief food scientist at the Drop Squad Kitchen. I agree with Ali Muhammad. This is a very important conversation, especially because of the work that I do with females. One of the top problems that females have in this country is health. So I'm really, really happy that y'all are here and supporting this project.
Good evening, I'm Keisha Harris. I was the only patient in the film. I speak with people all the time in reference to mental health, physical health, weight loss, proper nutrition. I learned a lot through my own personal journey, and I share with any person that will listen. Thank you.
Please excuse my voice. Solid inside, director of film, South Connected, South Authentic Inc. Also, holistic practitioner, as well as vegan. Scores, glad to be here, glad to serve. Coach Issa Saab, the executive producer of the film and the writer of the book, Urban Kryptonite. I don't have any titles, I'm just a guy from the east side of Detroit that's just giving some information to the people, and hopefully you accept it and you go forth and you apply this knowledge. That's all we're doing, is to give you the information so that you can apply it, not just go and sit home. But by the way, to let you guys know, there is 2 hours more of the film. So the film will be coming out around July 10th. We're working on getting all that stuff together, and it's 4 hours. You just saw a little piece of it. So we go in on some major topics that probably got a little more cussing and all that kind of stuff on it that you can watch at home. If you see how Tahuti and Laila Africa is doing, you ain't seen that till you take it home. So let me pass this back to Brother Diallo, and we can get started. Thank you.
All right, my first question is for Brother Cochise. At the beginning of the film, we saw you playing basketball. We know your documented history of being an athlete for 14 years, playing over 40 plus countries. What made you retire from basketball and start writing health books about the decline of our people as it pertains to our health?
First of all, I played for about 14, 15 years. Got cut by the Chicago Bulls 2003, was in training camp with them. Spent a lot of my time overseas, Europe, Asia, South America. And I think one of the things that led to me, I never like to say retire. I always like to think I got a chance to play, because I still play now. But I'm just concentrated more on this right here. So I think it was a way of giving back, more so to the community, instead of, always being a detriment. Man, I got a lot of trouble when I was coming up. And I knew I couldn't be a pastor or a preacher because I was too crooked to do that. But I did know that I could at least give you some information. So I can't break it down like Inky and Ali and all that, but I could read some stuff and tell you, okay, let's go here or go to Inky. Like if I got something, I say Inky, Ali, I send them to these guys. I mean, there are some things that I do know, but I like to send it to these guys. I want these guys to grow their businesses, abundance, all these guys. So I think that was one of the things, kind of just being a humanitarian a little bit as far as the health is concerned. I wanted this whole thing to be just a one-stop shop. This is the first of many urban kryptonites, and this is just dealing with food. So I want this to be a one-stop shop. Even, I talked to you guys before, even my people from Dominicana, Lo Boricua, my family's still living in the Dominican Republic, part of them, and we have issues down there as well. A lot of the African cultures, in Africa are becoming more westernized. So they having problems that they didn't used to have. So we want to get it there, we want to get it all around. And the main thing, to answer your question without running on like Inky be doing, is to just say, I want to help the community. That's all.
He said, I got to come to Minnesota. Brother Cochise allowed me to be a part of the film as far as putting some of the cast together, setting up different screenings throughout the country. And one of the first people I told him about was Minister Inky. We had him and Dr. Ali in Ohio last year. We went to Chicago, all over the place. And I said, you got to get this brother in the film. Why did you want to be in the film, Minister Inky? And what was some of the key points that you wanted to drive home when you did the interview with him and Brother Saladin?
Wow. Well, I wanted to be in the film primarily because it's just an extension of my persona. I was probably the worst of the worst in my neighborhood. You know, I ran it down pretty good. I was good at being bad. You know, and I had a stroke. My heart stopped. God gave me a second chance. I didn't take any drugs, any medication. I did my own rehab. I went 2 years straight raw diet, and I got myself out of the woods. Now, once the fear was gone, I went right back to my neighborhood. You know what's going on. I got half on the Hennessy and things like that, and my health deteriorated faster than it did the first time. So I wanted to spread that information because I knew that there was a disconnect between us having knowledge and then us applying the knowledge. My daughter, she got hit by a car, ran over her, 4 years old. The doctor said that she would never walk again. I got her back in school in 5 months. So just wanted to be able to share those things so that we could all do that, because I think that's the biggest hindrance to our potential is just understanding how to activate it. We're already, you know, we're already gods, goddesses, etc. We're just in a dormant state. So I just wanted to share that information and get with like minds and help them share that information and not run on.
My next one is from the director of the film, Brother Saladin. Me and Brother Cochise was riding up here from Ohio Saturday, and he was saying we had over 59 hours of footage. How big of a challenge was that for you to condense that to 4 hours? Because I know you got Mahila, you got Latham, you got these folks here. Like, how did you come to that decision on what to keep and what to take out? And I definitely would like to see a joint where we just have the extras that's on the director's floor. But how did you come up with that?
To answer your question, actually, it wasn't easy. I was like 20 pounds heavier when you last saw me. So it was a lot of sleepless nights, but I was just, it wasn't because it was work, it was because it was exciting. I mean, listening to these brothers talk, excuse my voice, listening to Ali, listening to Inky, listening to Abundance, listening to Keisha, the man Cochise, the Hootie. I couldn't go to sleep. I literally could not go to sleep until it was done. And so I took it upon, like this thing took a life of its own. You know, they said art, you create art. Well, I started realizing that this art started to create me. So that's basically what happened when I took on this project. Yeah, we had 59 hours worth of footage. We traveled from 15 cities, 15 states. We rode across the map. No fancy planes. We snow, tornadoes, hurricanes, all of that. You know, from east, west, south, the indestructible right here. So when we finally got everything done and we got everything home, it began to take a life of its own. So not to run on like Inky, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to say that it was a pleasure working with all the brothers and sisters right here.
But a quick follow-up while you have the mic. What kind of effect did that have on you watching 59 hours of footage?
I was having dreams about the film. I was having dreams that I was in the film. Seriously. Yeah. I would wake up and go, oh, wait a minute. Okay. You know, I'm not interviewing, I'm the one behind the camera. So, no, it was just a lovely thing because, I mean, I learned something. I mean, I'm pretty well read, just like the rest of these brothers, but I keep it to myself. You know, they showed me that, you know, this knowledge is definitely need to, I think by our brothers and sisters, you know, that's the one thing that I think can bring us back to where we need to be socially, politically, as well as economically, starting to die.
Give it up, give it up. One of my favorite portions of the film was the section that was built on the women. I was talking to Sister Abundance and the other women in the film. Sister Abundance, you said something in the film. Those of us that have heard your lectures and know you talk about kitchen chemistry. Can you get into that for the people that are here and the people that will watch this online? What is that and what does it entail?
Well, for me, kitchen chemistry is, it's not like the stereotypical what we learn in school about chemistry and everything. I spell kitchen chemistry with K, as in Kim, as in black, as in chemic. And most of us grew up with the standard American diet, and we ate flesh, we ate meat. And if you don't know, as far as flesh is concerned, the most powerful substance is the blood. That's why, and it's used in rituals and things like that. That's why they eat us. That's why we eat us. You know, they're putting aborted baby fetuses and everything. But I wanted to work with the spirit. And so the only way to really do that is with chemistry. But because we have a meat-free, because I have a meat-free and plant-based kitchen, I'm like, how do I do that? When we fry chicken, y'all know that like the blood starts coming out, right? So people are craving that blood. Y'all not just craving the bite of the flesh, you're craving the blood. So the kitchen chemistry that I'm talking about is one of spirit. It is a spiritual to cook. We all love our mama's food. Everybody swear their mom is the best cook. Everybody swear their grandmother was the best cook. And that's because we put love in the food. Our people put love in the food. And unbeknownst to most people, you can actually teach that science. You can teach the science of love, and it's by example. So when you have good food, it's just really easy to be like, listen, when you put a cashew together with some lemon, that makes cheese. It makes a cheese taste. You can sweeten it up or you can salty it up. There's a chemistry in that. And once you start eating better and things like that, and you become more clean, then you're able to cook more clean. And so for me, that is what the concept of kitchen chemistry. Now, and I ain't gonna be a little bit long because it's like in a certain piece. But the next phase of it is something that I actually do in classes, and that is explaining what the foods do. So like when somebody comes to you and they say they have diabetes or something like that, and they need to increase their green level because they might eat chromium, we're gonna let them know that they need to eat romaine lettuce. So they'll go to Minister Inky. Minister Inky will tell them they need this, this, and that. Then they can come to me to actually get the recipes. There's a chemistry in putting those recipes together so that people can heal. So that's about knowing what are the vitamins and the minerals that are in the substances that we are eating. That is where the kitchen chemistry is. And the chem, to finalize everything, is about food that is for us based off of our gene type.
This next brother I want to ask a question to wrote a book, and he has it right here, How to Eat to Live for the Hereafter. And when we look at this title, we all read, well, I'm saying y'all, but a lot of us read Dr. Elijah Muhammad's book of the same title. What inspires you to take that book to the, I won't say to the next level, I don't want to sound like I disrespect the ancestors, but what inspires you to write this book and add new information as you find?
Bear with me with my voice. It was the tour that we did. If anybody is familiar with me and Minister Inky's work, we did a tour called The Genetic Fee of a Black Planet. And I went to, it was that ground shaking. And that tour, as we continued to talk, helped me in my research, and I began to see more in depth to the problems specifically for people of African descent with the assault that is happening with the medical industry and the said food industry. And so that book was instrumental in its time because it got people off the board. It told them not to eat meat, that it wasn't good, but if you had to eat meat, eat this. And it kind of caused a revolution in America in the 60s and 70s when those books came out. Now we're dealing with another level of the revolution with detailing how to protect ourselves in modern times from the assault that is the causation factor of every level of dysfunction that we have. And so the Amber Institute and Aboriginal Medical Association were formed to help write this particular book, really. And the book is like first grade of the information that we're actually dealing with. And we need to find ways to disseminate it and make it very basic and practical. If you can follow some of the things that the brothers and sisters are saying up here, you'll be healthy. If you can comprehend it, then it's going to really fortify you against all the assaults. And let me tell you this, white folks know how to turn on damn near every mechanism in your body or off, and they're doing it. So what we're saying is we know how to do the same thing, even though we're not white.
That's right.
And people don't like to trust people who look like them and expect that they're that intelligent. But the Creator has brought us here for this time. So we wrote this book and all of the books that Mr. Inky has wrote and others. We write these books so that we can change the history of health.
Other sister on the panel, you have a very powerful story, sister, that talks about your healing. If you could get into that a little bit, I know you don't have to tell the whole story just because of the time, but explain to the people what that was like and how you overcame your illness.
Well, I will try to give you the quickest possible version of a 2-year battle where I found out I had cancer. I fought the cancer. I won the battle against cancer in 10 weeks using chemo and radiation because that's what my doctor recommended. My body was already healthy. I was very strong, and the chemo and radiation is what tried to kill me. And so basically, after 10 weeks of radiation, the doctor's exact words were, the inside of my body would be the equivalent of wet toilet paper. If you've ever touched wet toilet paper, when there was nothing that he said he could do to help me, because anything he tried to touch would basically fall apart. So I did 2 weeks of juicing, just straight raw juicing, to prepare for a surgery that he was going to attempt to do to save my life. He was very negative. Verbally, the power of your words are between life and death, and luckily my mentality was strong before I met this physician. His exact words were, Keisha, you could do nothing and live for 2 weeks. You could have surgery and live for 6. Personally, I take the 2 weeks. It's not a bad way to die. You're just going to fall asleep. 95% of America would take your doctor's advice and lay down and wait to die. I was just not part of that environment. I just didn't feel like it. I told the doctor to do everything that was humanly possible in his mind, body, and soul to wake me up out of a 19-hour surgery where they basically reconstructed my entire gut. They took everything that you could live without and a few things that you can't live without and just replaced them with plastic and recreated Play-Doh. I don't know what they did inside of me, but the doctor said this is where your negativity comes, not even just with the 2 weeks, you have 2 weeks to live, but he said it's a 95% chance I won't even wake you up off this table. Instead of saying it's a 5% chance that you could survive so your body can develop the hormone that's necessary to create hope, he said there's a 95% chance you're going to die before you even wake up. This 19-hour surgery really is a waste of my time. So I said, you just do whatever you can do. Wake me up. I will do the rest. He said, even if I do wake you up, it'll be 2 years before you will be able to walk, talk, eat, do anything. You're going to be on a feeding tube, you're going to have a nasal tube, you're going to be in this bed for 2 years. Just expect that. Expect to never have a good quality of life again. I had the surgery on March 1st of 2013. March 2nd, I stood up out of my bed. On March 19th, I walked down the hospital hallway. On March 24th, I walked up and down the steps for physical therapy. By April, which I know Saladin personally, he can contest to the fact that it was a struggle. Don't think it was easy. And if you don't have that strong mentality, if you surround yourself with the tiniest bit of negativity, it will consume you. And I had to release some people. I had to release certain parts of my life to get back to where I am. But 4 months after my surgery, 4 months. He said 2 years minimum. 4 months after my surgery, I walked by my own 2 feet into his office to amaze him. 6 months, I'm back to my regular everyday life, working. Right now, you're looking at a year and a half. Wow. I'm not but that's what I teach now. It is a determination that you have to be born with. It's very difficult when you're a physician, a person who went to school. I didn't just have a fly-by-night doctor. You heard in the movie, I had 22 doctors. I had 22 doctors. I had doctors from everywhere. I had doctors that were mine. Hawaii, Florida, Georgia. We're talking about the Mayo Clinic. The #1 physician in the state of Hawaii. The #1 hospital in the state of Virginia. This hospital is, the gentleman that told me I had 2 weeks to live, it's not a bad way to die, is the head of oncology in one of the top 100 hospitals in the country. So I was not dealing with just some cheap, I think I got you the other side. But, you know, it was serious. It was serious, and when they said you're going to die, in fact, my father, the nurses in the room were crying. The students, the residents in the room were crying. My parents were crying. When the doctor left, my dad's words to me were, did you understand what he said? You're not crying. You're not talking to me. I don't feel dead. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but it's not what I felt. And I never allowed that into my mind. In fact, I docked my words the next day, because I gave it some thought. I did some homework, but the next day I told the doctor, if you cannot conform to my side of the mentality, I need a different doctor. Because if you go into this surgery thinking that there's only a 95% chance you're not going to wake me up, then you probably won't wake me up, because your word is your power. And I believe every single day that I could bounce back. I told people here tonight that they thought, they tried to put me on antidepressants. And when they did that, I declined. I told them, if there's ever a time to be depressed in your life, this is the time. Let me just be sad, and that way when my mind tells me I'm happy, I don't think that it's this pill. I know that it is my heart. To give you an idea of the European mentality that you live around, the doctor's response was, you need a psych eval. I'm crazy because I don't think these pills are going to help. And that's basically when I just went off on my own and said, I guess I need to start my own world. I need to take all your patients. So now the same doctors that told me I don't have a chance in life, call me now and say, I got 2 patients, I need you to talk to on Wednesday.
Let's go to some questions. Come on, brother.
Peace. Good video. My question is with regards to why the title Urban Kryptonite. It seems kind of discriminatory because a lot of our brothers and sisters don't live in the urban. People live in Puerto Rico, DR, Jamaican, Haiti. They have opportunity for farming and agriculture, and they still eat the sad diet. They still eating pork. They still eating chimichurri. They still eating chicken, even though they live in Puerto Rico and in DR and South America. So it looks like it's only the urban that you're focusing on, and not based on the title, not based on our brothers and sisters in those kind of environments.
Chief.
The most important thing is I titled it Urban because I got to start in Detroit first. I got to start where I'm at. Yeah, my family's still in the DR, but I'm not always around them. So while those things affect them, you got to realize they actually eat avocado, they eat avocados, they eat soursop, which you can barely get here. So they do eat that stuff, but it balances el pollo frito, arroz habichuela, all that stuff. It kind of balances them a little bit, puts them in a better position because we eat the things that are a little bit more GMO and all that kind of stuff. So they eat, down there you got noni fruit laying on the ground. You got cocoa, agua de coco, you know, they're drinking all of that stuff. So they have it in a more abundance, whereas we don't really have those things. You can't, Detroit is cold, so you're not gonna get that stuff up there. So I didn't want to trick. My first line of worry was the people that I'm at. It's like me trying to go to Africa and fix the people in Africa when I'm already here. I gotta get this first, then I'll take care of that. So I think that was the logic. But by the way, it's a lot of Dominicanos, Boricuas living here that eat like that. They still eat like that. So while the title could be a little bit misleading, I'm using urban as well as melanated interchangeably. But you have to understand that in those countries, they don't necessarily live in an urban area like you said, but they're still westernized with the mentality. So westernized as a form of the United States. The stuff's trickling out.
Next question.
And I really applaud the sister. Your story is just mind-blowing. I had the opportunity to meet this sister. I can't think of her name right now, but she's going over to Africa and helping the women over there who's getting breast cancer. And what's happening there is they're actually killing these women. They're killing them, saying that they are possessed with demons whenever they get breast cancer, and they're actually throwing them under bridges. This was my first time hearing this at this women's conference that I was just privileged to be at about 2 months ago. And so I want to connect with this sister. She said once the women are diagnosed with breast cancer, they immediately strip them from their families, take them from their children, and throw them under the bridge. And sometimes they're just killing them, and they let them starve to death under this bridge in Africa. And I thought that was the worst thing I have ever heard in life, just to hear that that's what they're doing. So just to hear your story is like amazing. And then for people to think that a person is possessed with some type of demon because of this disease in their body is like so breathtaking to me. And so just to hear your story is just really, really done some really good to me and my soul. And I'm looking to help some of those women. But like my brother said, it's just like on the airplane. You got to give yourself oxygen first before you can help other people. But I really, really do think that
this message, although it has urban in it, is still going to do great things and be a great measure for our people all over the planet. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the mic to each person. I got one question. They all can answer it, and then we can go home. Oh, you got a question?
I just want to make a comment. First, peace, hotep, love, shalom, and all that good stuff to everybody in the room.
Peace.
And, you know, I got my eye got a little bit watery when you was talking because you touched my heart. All right? And first, I want to say that, you know, we clap and sometimes we stand up. I think that we owe this woman a standing ovation. We owe her. Now we do shop, we network with each other, we talk, we see the debates, Black Power, we want to do all the right stuff. Let me tell you something. The way they kill the devil is the way she did it. Yeah. She's teaching us how to kill the devil. We gotta stop making excuses. We gotta get up and do for something like Elijah said. And she did it. She didn't let them defeat her. It starts here. It starts here, and then it works its way all through our body and all through our diaspora and then the whole world. This world is ours. We're going to take it back. And it ain't going to change until we take it back. We got to take it back. It's in our hands. This devil's going to continue reigning until we take it back. This is our fault that this is happening because we're not taking it back. She proved it. She did it. She proved it. And let me tell you something. I want to war now. I want to go to war. Let me tell you something, sister. Let me tell you, for real. We study the help, you know, Enki, Sister Wonder's Child, Ali, all the other brothers and sisters, Lila Africa and everybody. We study it, but this woman actually went through terminal cancer. You know how many co-workers I lost, didn't get to retire? This food is designed for you to work for a certain time for this master, the slave master. And then before you can collect your pension, you're going to die. That's what that's designed for. You dig? So what this woman did was that she actually turned something around. I had a guy that died, they gave him 6 weeks, I think, and he died in 2 days. And you
No,
actually,
he died, excuse me.
They killed him.
He died the day they told him he was going to die,
and he believed it. He bought into it.
He died
and
that
you did
day.
it. This is how we kill devils, y'all. This is how we kill them.
Peace to the panel. I want to say that Urban Kryptonite, I think that this is going to be one of the biggest and best documentaries that we have on the planet right now. Because this right here can save the lives of our people. That's right. Hidden Colors was great. That's right. It was a good movie. I'm not hating on none of that. But I think this right here is the most important documentary that we have right now, family. Yeah. I was just sitting back watching it and I was like, wow. But I had to go and take care of some business, so I couldn't see the whole thing. I want to know, what did the sister do? How did you cure yourself? I want to know that. And for Minister Enki, I knew you was a religious man. You said God gave me another chance. That's right. I want to know what you mean by God. Okay. God outside of you or the God inside of you?
I can't really say there was any one thing that I did. I believed. That's what I did. I believed. I listened to every single thing all of my doctors said. Everything. Because they are not necessarily wrong. Just like Coach E said, they are practicing. Michael Jordan was practicing, LeBron was practicing and lost the game. You know what I'm saying? He's good at what he does. Y'all buy his shoes. But He's just practicing. So I take the information, I process it, and I make the decision that my body tells me to make. And the doctors had me on 78 different pills a day. So I'm like, okay, well, can you explain these pills to me? Yes, this pill is to try to make you better. But it's going to probably make you throw up. So this pill is going to make it so you don't throw up, but it's going to probably give you some heart palpitations. This pill is to stop the heart palpitations. Hold on, Tommy. Yeah. We're going to get rid of all of this. Forget this. You done gave me, I had cancer. And now I have heart palpitations, high blood pressure, kidney issue. I mean, seriously, how about this? If you do your education, whatever is in this first medicine is probably also in the grocery store. If you do your education. And that's the difference. The doctor is at work. He is not your mother, your father, your cousin, your brother. He is at work. He is getting paid. If the hospital does not cut him a check, I promise he won't show up tomorrow. Okay, so understand that he's going to get a check from the hospital for caring for you. That's his job. But he's also going to get a check from Pilsner for selling their pill. Okay, so he gets no money from the Dole plant for telling you how to buy some fruits and vegetables. They don't pay him for that. But Pilsner is going to tell him, every single pill you write a script for, I got you. Maybe he make 50 cents. Don't sound like a lot. This man got 400 patients. I'm on 78 pills by myself. I didn't put his kids through college. You see what I'm saying? So you have to take all of the knowledge. You have to understand all of the knowledge before you make any decision. And this is where it gets tough. You have to make an unemotional decision. You can't be sad or happy or scared. You have to make a decision that is sound-minded. And that's what I did.
All right. Mr. Tricky Sinetta, you had to try to. No, that's a good question, brother.
Yes, sir.
And when I speak of God, what I'm speaking about is the intelligence that animates us. So there's an intelligence from the time that the sperm fertilizes an egg, and that egg becomes a zygote that tells each one of those cells to become a specialized cell. So there's an intelligence that's not your intelligence that tells a cell to become a foot cell or a lung cell, etc., etc. That intelligence, when my heart stopped, told me you still have some more time to go, and started again, started beating again, and got me up out of that bed. I told them to put my arms and my legs back in the sockets because they came out because I shook so violently, put my clothes on, and left. From that moment forward, I said, it's my duty, it's my responsibility, because I'm here, to explain why I'm here and to explain to people, if you want to stay here, you have to fight to stay here, because we started off as fighters. In a healthy man releasing semen, releasing sperm, there's about 500 million sperm competing to get here. You beat 499,999,999 other sperms to get here and get McDonald's. I don't think so.
All right, so we don't have no more questions. The last question, the same question to the whole panel. We'll start with Coach East, the executive producer of the film. Oh. Okay, I told y'all to come line up. All right.
Some love panel. How y'all doing, man? I just want to say this like burning on me right now. Like, this is like surreal for me. Like, you guys are my pioneers, you know. Like, you guys are my celebrities. Like, I just want to go out and say, like, all of you guys right on this panel, we really appreciate it. I really love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I don't want you guys to think that you're doing your work and things. So I just want to, you guys, y'all can pat yourself on the back. Y'all really inspire me. Like, you guys are my pioneers for real. Can you like debunk this skinny myth? I know with the raw food, I don't want to say the fit because I don't want to live the fit, but it's like a thought of any like your physique, it won't keep up with eating the raw food, with eating the natural food. So can you like debunk that myth?
And what you're speaking to exactly is that if you're a raw foodist or a vegan, that you have to be skinny. That's incorrect. So definitely you can debunk that. I'm gonna try to do it relatively quickly. I have the 2 DVDs out on
What's the name of it?
You Only Live Once, part 2. It's a 2-part series, and I talk about building muscle and losing weight. What we don't understand is how the hormones work in the body. So most of us are familiar with testosterone only because that's what's pumped in the media, and we think that that is the anabolic steroid that builds the body. It's not. The anabolic steroid that builds the body, the most anabolic steroid that builds the body is insulin. Insulin is what allows your cells to feed themselves. So when we go on like a fruit fast, for instance, those sugars that we get from the fruit are what your muscles are actually craving. So the same way you have 8 essential amino acids, what most of us don't know is we have 8 essential sugars that we're supposed to be getting in our diet every single day. So a lot of us just are not opening up the muscle cells. There's a little guy inside each muscle cell called GLUT4. And the GLUT4 being inactive in our life is what is actually giving us the type 2 diabetes. That's why I feel like this is important, because we have a different type of anatomy than everybody else. We have what's called fast twitch muscle in our body. Fast twitch muscle works completely different than slow twitch muscle, which is the standard that our medical system is based around. And where it becomes more important, because everybody's not looking to build muscle, but what they have to understand is that your heart is a muscle, your lung is a muscle, your stomach, etc., etc. Your brain is a muscle. Slow twitch muscles, anaerobic, fast twitch muscles. So all of these things contribute to how we build the body. So the point is this. It's about exercise and opening up the cells. A lot of people are not incorporating exercise into their new lifestyle. They're not incorporating strength training. They're trying to do cardio and aerobics, which is not designed for your body. That's not designed for you. What we should be doing is strength training, squats, push-ups. When you put that pressure, when you trigger those stretch, when your body works on stretch triggers, when you click those stretch triggers, that sends the signal to your brain, listen, we need to build up because we're not efficiently handling our day-to-day tasks. Once that happens, the cells will take in an increased amount of sugar from the bloodstream, build up the muscles, etc., etc. So we have brothers all around the country, from the Black Genetics Tour, brother Dr. Ali Muhammad was just referring to, that are professional bodybuilders. In fact, there's a brother walking around here right now with biceps that almost poke my eye out. He's trying to take pictures out there, and he's on a raw food vegetarian diet right now. So when we look at gorillas, when we look at horses, when we look at these, when you look at a horse is almost 100% muscle, about 800 pounds. Elephants, all of these are vegetarians, they're vegans. And it's just as simple as us getting back in tune with nature. Our body is meant to be muscular. Fast twitch muscle has the highest electrical capacity of any other type of flesh. That's what we're composed of. So when we understand melanin, and we've had our scholars talk about that for a long time, we have to understand its effect on muscles, muscle growth, etc. So obviously I'm becoming the Mr. Rinky that everyone is worrying about. But the DVD, I can elaborate more on the DVD, because Hitler got a Nobel Peace Prize nomination in 1939 for synthesizing testosterone just to be able to keep up with us. And testosterone and injecting these steroids did not become illegal until the 80s when black folks got their hands on it. When Ben Johnson started injecting, then it became crazy. In 1976, the Germans won 40 gold medals and was bragging about how much juice they injected and yada, yada, yada. Their German technology is testosterone. And they got all this stuff out of North Africa. See, that's something they don't talk about when they deal with Holocaust. The Holocaust started in North Africa. They broke down and dissected your body. Then they incorporated what they found in your body through synthetic means into their bodies. And then they put out Mr. Olympia, so they can say, okay, we have the standard of whatever around the globe. But then what happened with Mr. Olympia? We had Sergio, we had Lee Haney, we had Ronnie Coleman, so we even dominated that sport. So once we get back to genetics and we get back to, you know, just being who we are, like, you know, we had Taj. That's one of the things I love about Taj. We say, just be yourself. You know, so once we do that, we ain't good, we ain't good. And if
my question is for the cancer survivor. Your story is really touching and it's amazing how far you've came. My question is, you mentioned 2 weeks prior to preparing for your 19-hour surgery, you did juice for the entire 2 weeks. I wanted to know, any other time during your journey or anything like that, were you a vegetarian, vegan, raw foodist, or anything like that? Or currently, how, I just wanted to know throughout that time, how were you eating to help build your body up or anything like that? I know you speak a lot about the mind and how powerful your mind was, but I wanted to know food-wise, what were you intaking?
Previous to being diagnosed with cancer, I ate, like I said, the gentleman I was dating was a 4-star chef, and I ate anything you can see on Top Chef or Iron Chef, any of those awesome TV shows where food looks ridiculous.